Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video like up. In Hope Valley, love stories are written not only in ink but in the lingering glances between two souls destined to meet. Every frame of When Calls the Heart seems painted with emotion. And at the center of this emotional masterpiece stand two men who've captured the hearts of millions. Lucas Bouchard and Nathan Grant. Both are wildly adored by fans. Both have walked into Elizabeth Thornton's life in their own unique ways. And both continue to make Hearties across the world debate passionately about who truly makes hearts flutter more. Lucas Bouchard, the refined, mysterious saloon owner turned governor, embodies sophistication with a dash of poetry. He entered Hope Valley not as a rugged Mountie, but as a man of words, elegance, and intellect. His charm lies in his subtlety, the way he speaks softly yet commands a room, the way his eyes carry secrets wrapped in sincerity, and the way he always seems to understand Elizabeth's unspoken emotions. When Lucas first appeared, he was the unexpected, a man who brought the flair of the city into a town grounded in simplicity. His gestures were grand, but never empty. From his candlelit dinners to his handwritten notes, Lucas represents a romantic ideal, the man who doesn't just love with words but crafts every moment into an experience of affection. Thank Nathan Grant. On the other hand is the steady heartbeat of Hope Valley, the Mountie whose courage is matched only by his tenderness. He rides through the frontier dust with a heart both wounded and noble. Where Lucas offers refinement, Nathan offers reliability. His every move reflects quiet strength. His love, though less adorned, is raw and unshakable. He's the kind of man who doesn't need to speak much because his presence itself says everything. When he looks at Elizabeth, there's something deep in his eyes, something protective, genuine, and humble. His bond with his niece Allie also revealed layers of love that melted hearts everywhere. The fascinating thing about this debate, Lucas versus Nathan, is that both men embody two halves of what Hearties dream of in a partner. Lucas brings passion and poetic devotion. Nathan brings warmth and emotional safety. The chemistry between Elizabeth and each of them feels different but equally intoxicating. Lucas and Elizabeth's connection feels like reading a classic novel full of anticipation, intellectual connection, and luxurious romantic tension. Nathan and Elizabeth's connection feels like coming home natural, comforting, and sincere, like finding love in the most unexpected place. When Lucas first arrived, his confidence made him a mystery. He spoke with eloquence and carried himself with a grace that made Hope Valley stop and take notice. His courtship with Elizabeth was deliberate, patient, and respectful. He didn't rush her healing heart after the loss of Jack. Instead, he waited, letting her set the pace. It was in those small acts, the soft glances, the encouraging words, the way he listened, that viewers began to see his depth. Lucas didn't try to replace Jack. He tried to understand the part of Elizabeth that Jack had awakened, then gently helped her rediscover joy. That emotional intelligence became one of his greatest strengths and one of the reasons why so many Hearties still root for him. Nathan's love story with Elizabeth, on the other hand, was born from a different place. From unspoken longing, his hesitations, his guilt over Jack's death, and his protective instincts made their relationship simmer with unexpressed emotion. Nathan's love wasn't shown through lavish gestures, but through every risk he took. Every quiet moment where his concern for her spoke louder than words. When he looked at Elizabeth, it wasn't just admiration. It was a love that came with reverence. Hearties saw in Nathan a reflection of the steadfast, selfless kind of love that endures through hardship. Over the years, this love triangle became one of the most passionately discussed topics in Hallmark history. Fans formed their own camps, Team Lucas and Team Nathan, each side holding its own vision of what Elizabeth deserved and what true love meant in Hope Valley. When Elizabeth chose Lucas, it was seen as a moment of growth, of moving forward, of embracing a love that challenged her intellectually and emotionally. But even after that choice, Nathan's quiet heartbreak lingered like a shadow of unfinished destiny, keeping the emotional conversation alive. Lucas's appeal goes beyond his romantic gestures. He represents ambition with integrity. A man who dreams big but remains grounded in honor. His devotion to Elizabeth showed that love can be both grand and gentle. He listens deeply, loves profoundly, and leads with grace. His recent struggles as governor have revealed even more dimensions of his character. Beneath his composed exterior lies vulnerability, the kind that comes from trying to balance duty with love. Fans have seen him stumble, not out of weakness, but out of humanity. And in that humanity, he becomes more relatable than ever. Nathan, too, has evolved. His quiet demeanor hides a heart that feels deeply. Every time he interacts with Elizabeth now, there's maturity in his restraint. He doesn't chase, but he doesn't stop caring. And that balance of letting go while still loving makes him even more irresistible. His relationship with Allie continues to show the side of him that's nurturing, self-sacrificing, and profoundly good, while Lucas might ignite the imagination. Nathan tugs directly at the soul. One of the reasons Hearties continue to swoon for both men is because they represent timeless romantic archetypes. Lucas is the romantic dreamer, the gentleman who writes poetry under lamplight. Nathan is the loyal protector, the man who would face a storm without a second thought if it meant keeping someone he loves safe. Both are old-fashioned in their own ways, which perfectly fits the charm of Clen, when calls the heart. Yet they each carry a modern appeal, too. Lucas's confidence feels like that of a man secure in his emotions. Nathan's vulnerability shows strength in sensitivity. Elizabeth's journey between these two men mirrors the journey of many viewers torn between safety and excitement, between familiarity and discovery. When she's with Lucas, she seems intellectually stimulated, emotionally alive, and inspired to dream beyond Hope Valley's borders. When she's near Nathan, she's reminded of the simple, steadfast kind of love that feels eternal. The tension between these two dynamics gives this show its heart. It's what keeps fans glued, theorizing, rewatching, and feeling every subtle glance or unfinished conversation. For some fans, Lucas's charisma is unmatched. His eyes, his confidence, and his unshakable patience give him an almost cinematic allure. They love the way he looks at Elizabeth as if she's the only person in the world. They remember the candlelit proposal, the slow dances, the passionate kisses that finally happened after so many seasons of emotional buildup. For those fans, Lucas isn't just Elizabeth's love. He's a symbol of second chances. Proof that love can be found again after loss. But others find Nathan's quiet devotion even more powerful. His imperfections make him real. His awkward silences, his hesitations, and his gentle protectiveness all feel authentic, like a kind of love that doesn't need fancy words or elaborate plans. Nathan represents the heart's loyalty, the man who stays even when he has nothing to gain. For many, that's the kind of man who makes hearts truly swoon. When Kevin McGarry steps into Nathan's boots, he brings that brooding sincerity that fans can't resist. His presence on screen feels comforting, yet thrilling, a hero who doesn't boast but acts. His chemistry with Aaron Crocco's Elizabeth feels deeply emotional, rooted in unsaid understanding. Meanwhile, Chris McNally as Lucas brings that effortless charm that lights up every scene. His voice, his subtle gestures, and his intense eye contact have turned many moments into unforgettable romantic highlights. As the series continues, the writers have cleverly allowed both men to shine in their own arcs. Lucas has taken on leadership challenges, showing he's not just a lover, but a man of principle. Nathan has found his rhythm again, balancing his duty as a Mountie with his personal journey. Their interactions with Elizabeth have matured, from love triangle tension to mutual respect and understanding, yet the undercurrent of romance still lingers. Hearties have often said that Lucas makes them dream while Nathan makes them feel, and maybe that's the real beauty of When Calls the Heart. It doesn't force you to choose between the dream and the heart, because both are essential parts of love. Some viewers find Lucas's sophistication irresistible, the poetry, the confidence, the intellect. Others can't help but fall for Nathan's emotional honesty, the gentleness beneath the uniform, the unspoken loyalty. Each represents a different kind of swoon. If we look at the storytelling, Lucas's romance follows the traditional Hallmark charm, elegance, grand gestures, romance under starlight. Nathan's follows the emotional realism, the heartache, slow healing, the deep connection that grows through everyday acts. In the world of Hope Valley, both forms of love coexist beautifully, reflecting the diversity of what romance means to different people. Elizabeth herself often mirrors the viewer's internal conflict. She admires Lucas's worldliness, but can't forget Nathan's warmth. Every shared glance with Nathan brings a flicker of the past, while every moment with Lucas builds a bridge to her future. This subtle tug-of-war keeps the emotional stakes high, making both men endlessly fascinati.